Arguably, when it comes to features on a smartphone or things on a smartphone that we need to work, is the battery. The battery is one of the most important features on a smartphone because with no battery life, it doesn't matter how great the specs are, the phone is going to be a flop. So I've got the Mate 9 on the chopping block right now, and I've been testing this battery through and through, and I consider myself to be a heavy user. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my battery stats, and I'm going to show you some of the applications that I have on my phone and how I have things set up. So you probably won't get the same battery life as me, but this is how I obtain the battery life that I've got. So this is something that people ask all the time. How did you do that? What are you doing? And how did you get this? I don't think you're telling the truth about your battery life. So I'm down to 13%. So before the phone dies, I'm going to show you how my phone is set up, and I'm going to show you specifically the battery, the standby time, how long I've been on this charge, etc. Screen on time too is what you really care about. So let's jump right into this video. Alright, and here we go. So here's my Mate 9, and regardless of how the icons are set up, that doesn't really play a part too much. If you have widgets, that's going to drain your battery. That's one thing I wanted to say first. So if you have widgets, look forward to not having the best battery life, especially if you have a lot of widgets. So applications on my phone are as followed. Here we go. So I keep probably between 70 to 85 apps at best, and here they are. And I disable apps that I don't use. So that's not really what you're here to see. Let me go, went out too soon. So let's go to the battery life. So right now, as you can see, the phone says that I have 2 hours left for power saving mode, 2 hours and 3 minutes. Ultra power saving mode, it says 5 hours and 34 minutes, but just regular usage is where I keep it. I have an hour and 42 minutes left. So one thing, as you can see here, I have certain apps. Apps will be closed when the lock screen is off. So you want to close apps when the screen is off. Now, if it's an app that you want to get a notification for, you leave that one obviously unchecked. As you can see, I pretty much have everything set to close when my screen is off, except for the ones that I go into the most, which is probably going to be Hangouts. It says don't close. Inbox, Sideline, Telegram. I have the ones closed. I need to close that. I have the ones closed that I don't want. There's some new ones in here too, by the way, so I don't need these and that. Yeah. So I have pretty much everything set to close when the screen is off. And you see how I'm getting this message here by Instagram saying, hey, I won't be able to refresh this if you let it close. This is something that you should do on your Mate 9, is close applications when you turn the screen off. So that is important. So now I started before this video, I have 48, now I have 52. And I don't keep a lot of apps open and I just close them out. Even when I have the phone on, I'll go in and swipe it away. And some people say, oh, you're clearing it out of the RAM. I know, that's fine. But okay, so let's get into battery consumption levels here. So those who are wondering how to check the battery consumption levels on the Mate 9 or just Huawei devices, this is where you go. So the first one we're going to look at is cell phone standby. As you can see, it's been in standby for about 12%, and phone idle has been about almost 11%. But let's go here. So this is how long the phone has been off of the charger. 37 hours and 56 minutes, and I still have 13% left. So that's over a day. Obviously, there's 24 hours in a day, so that's over a day. Now, the screen on time, right now I'm at 7 hours and 46 minutes, but I still have 13% left. So with that, I'm going to pass 8 hours. Now, again, I don't average these times. I average probably about 6.5, almost 7. That, my friend, is fantastic battery life on a smartphone. So it just went up to 7 hours and 47 minutes. So it's real time. So I'm going to get over 8 hours with this. But most important part is I've been on this charge for over a day. I've been on it for 37 hours and 57 minutes. I'm coming up on 38 hours, almost 48 hours. This is fantastic battery life. And this is the Mate 9. This is the unlocked version that I bought at Best Buy. So all the models are pretty much, the L29 is being sold everywhere. This is the L29 model, which is the dual SIM version. So all of the Mate 9s pretty much work on all the bands, which is a good thing. The only difference is, and shout out to that person in one of my videos that said, hey, just want to add one thing that Jay didn't say is that you don't get a warranty with the international versions. That's correct. So if you buy the international version because you want a specific color, like the ceramic white or ceramic black, you know, the ones that you just can't find in the US, just know that you're not getting a warranty with those. And that's just what it is. But this is my screen on time and standby time. Some people always ask, how do you get that standby time? How do you get that screen on time? I don't do anything special with my devices. Here are all my apps. Like I said, I generally keep about, I keep probably, like I said before, 70 to 85. At one point I've had like 95 apps before, but some of these apps I could actually uninstall. Like I haven't played these games in a long time because I don't really game on my phone. But that's just what it is. The Mate 9 has fantastic battery. Now, what contributes to that? Obviously, a contributing factor is the 1080p display and the 4,000 milliamp hour battery. Those are some of the main factors that are going to make you get some good battery life. I definitely will highly recommend, and yes, I took off my tempered glass and screen protector. I'm waiting for some screen protectors to come in, tempered glasses. But yeah, I definitely... And also, the screen feels much better. If you have that screen protector still on your phone, take it off and you'll be amazed at how much the touch sensitivity goes up. It feels better. But, you know, the battery life on here, this phone gets good battery because it has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. There's just nothing else to say about it. And it has a beautiful 1080p display. So you could actually, put pretty much any wallpaper on here and you'll get some good battery life. I like this wallpaper. I have it set as the lock screen, but I just want to kind of test it. I'm probably gonna go with a brighter wallpaper because this one's not. Let me try some of these other ones. Like I'm gonna go with a more vivid wallpaper. How about something like, oh, I never tried this one before. Oh wow, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful wallpaper. I generally like dark wallpapers. Like I like to have a dark wallpaper on. That's really sexy. Yeah, that's pretty sexy. Let's try a brighter wallpaper. And the reason I'm doing this is because certain wallpapers will affect your battery life. Depending on what it is, the wallpaper will affect your battery life. But with these IPS displays, wow, that is gorgeous. That's gorgeous. I don't know that I like that wallpaper per se, but that's a gorgeous wallpaper. So let's get into some of the Google wallpapers. Now, the wallpaper that I normally would keep up on my phone, I used to put it on all my phones, is this blue wallpaper. And all these things play a part in your battery life. Widgets, what kind of wallpaper you have. So if you have an AMOLED display, obviously you're going to go with a dark wallpaper because, you know, the pixels are turned off for the black. And it's just nothing. It's just there. So that's something that you definitely would think about if you have an AMOLED display. But this isn't an AMOLED display, so I can pretty much run whatever wallpaper I want to run on here. So let's change that to home. And that is just a gorgeous, gorgeous wallpaper. Let's see what I turned the brightness to auto for this video. But wow, you know, I'm at about 45%, 35% or so right there. And this is a gorgeous display. And this phone, again, gets to 600 nits. I never crank it up all the way. You know, some people use their phones at 100% and outside all the time or just in their daily use. I'm like, how could you do that? But that, too, plays a part. Now, in normal conditions, I keep my phone right here at about this. This is how I keep my phone brightness. I don't use auto, but again, like I said, I turned it on for this video. But this is where I keep my settings for my brightness. I don't use auto. Now, some battery saving tips that you can do that I've tried before is if you have a Mate 9 or just any phone, turn off mobile data at night while you're sleeping, which means the phone won't pull in, you know, like turn off Wi-Fi and turn off mobile data. You don't even have to use a power saving mode. And that right there stops a bunch of battery drain. I did it last night and I only drained 1%, I think it was 1%. So I was at 37% when I went to sleep. And I woke up to 36%. So if you want to save some battery overnight while you're sleeping, like I still don't understand. Like some people say, well, what's the purpose of doing that? Listen, you can't get notifications in your sleep. That makes no sense. So why do you have to have notifications on while you're sleeping? Some people also say, well, I don't use power saving modes and all that at all because I want to get the feel of the battery. But okay, I say again, just out of curiosity, please comment. Why do you have to have your data on while you're sleeping? When you wake up in the morning, you're going to pick your phone up. You're still, because what's important while you're sleeping is that you get your phone calls and your texts. If it's important, you'll hear it beep and you'll look at it and say, oh my gosh, I got to run to the laundromat. My clothes is on fire. I don't know. Or an important phone call comes in from a family member. I use priority mode at night, so the only people that can get through are people with priority, which is just family and immediate friends or just immediate family. Like very few people have access to me after certain hours for ringing my phone. So that's one of the best battery tips I could give. Turn off data while you're sleeping. Even use power saving mode. It's not like you're cheating. It's not. That's what they're there for. So if you just don't want to turn off your data, turn on power saving mode. It's there. This phone has ultra power saving mode, which is actually really incredible. It really dumbs down the phone, but it's very nice though. So if I were to leave it like this, I can definitely get much more. This says I'm getting another 5 hours. And I chose these right here. So again, you can edit these and put them however you want. You can have whatever you want up there. So I didn't use ultra power saving mode in any of my tests. I just kind of left it as is, and I still pulled down fantastic battery. So now that I've been doing this video for a little bit, let's check the battery again, and let's check the screen on time. So it's gone up for sure, and it's going to be real time stats on here because it's moving as we do this. So now the standby time has gone up to 38 hours. And 4 minutes that I've been off of this battery. And it says self standby, but that's how long I've been off the charge. And now I'm rolling up on 8 hours of screen on time. So I consider myself to be a very heavy user. I don't know what other power saving tips I can give a person to get a lot out of a phone with so much battery. It's already doing all the work by having a 1080p display and a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. And also one other thing that plays a part in your battery life is your cell phone signal. If you have a very strong cell phone signal, you don't have to worry about having too much you won't get any battery drain for that. But if you have a weak signal and it's always trying to find the best signal, that is a battery killer. So that's why a lot of people might stay on Wi-Fi. So if you're in an area where you have weak signal, you're probably going to be on Wi-Fi a lot. So you shouldn't have that much of a bad battery. So with that being said, the Mate 9 is a phenomenal device. I will pass 8 hours of screen on time. That's my final battery rundown test for this. A lot of people requested me to do an update on the battery life on this phone. So my average time is between 6.5 and 7 hours on every charge. Now I've obviously charged this phone multiple times. Also, I put a poll up on people how long it takes to charge your battery. Some people have reported that it takes over 2.5 hours or almost 2.5 hours to charge. I just don't have that problem. Use the supplied charger, which I never do. You guys know I have an Anchor. But I'll admit, when you use the Anchor, it doesn't take 2.5 hours. It just takes probably like about 15 to 20 minutes longer than the standard charger that comes in the box. So use the supercharger that comes with this phone, and your phone should be charged between an hour and a half. The poll on Google+, I'll try to remember to put a link in the description of this video. If I don't, just hit my Google+, and you'll see that the majority of the people out there, their phones are charging within an hour to an hour and a half or so. So it's your man Jay Will. This is a beast mode device. I'm so glad that I went out and got it. I don't see myself using pretty much anything else as a daily driver at the moment. To me, this is the phone to beat. Huawei did good. Take care, guys.